இந்த பிராண்டில் இருக்கிற ஒரு ஸ்பீக்கர் எந்த
So audio is our forte and we love car audio. That's why. Custom system, when I say custom, which means you take a universal speaker and adapt it to the car, can lead to a multitude of issues. Obviously, if a good installer is there, he can install, but you lose your warranty.
Hi friends, welcome back to Birlas Parvai. நம்ம காரோட ஆடியோ பற்றி நிறைய வீடியோஸ் வந்து பார்த்துருக்கோம். இது கொஞ்சம் யூனிக்கான ஒரு வீடியோவாக கண்டிப்பாக இருக்கும். ஏன் அப்படின்னா இந்த பிளக் அண்ட் பிளே அப்படிங்கிற கான்செப்டில் இருக்கிற கார் ஆடியோ, அதாவது கார் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்காக நமக்கு ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. நம்ம மோஸ்ட்லி நம்ம பார்த்த வரைக்கும் பிராண்ட் வைஸ் நம்ம பார்த்துருப்போம். அப்போது இந்த பிராண்டில் இருக்கிற ஒரு ஸ்பீக்கர் எந்த காரில் வேணாலும் செட் ஆகும் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் நம்ம பார்த்தது. பட் நான் கேள்விப்பட்டது ரொம்ப புதுசாக எனக்கு இருக்குது. அப்போ ஒரு காருக்கு உதாரணத்துக்கு Volkswagen அப்படின்னா Volkswagenக்குனே தனியாக ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் வந்து டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதே மாதிரி இப்போ நம்மக்கிட்ட கியா இருக்குன்னா கியாக்காகவே ஸ்பீக்கர் டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. முக்கியமாக லக்ஸரி பிராண்டுக்கு ஏத்தாப்புல இண்டிவிஜுவல் பிராண்டுக்கு ஏத்தாப்புல ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அதுதான் பிளக் அண்ட் பிளே அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கேட்டகரியில் வருது. அப்படி என்னென்ன மாதிரியான கார் ஆடியோ ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறத ரொம்ப டீட்டெயில்டாக ஒரு டெக்னிக்கல் கையோட இப்போ நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம். பல விஷயங்கள் கார் ஆடியோ பற்றி நம்ம கண்டிப்பாக இந்த வீடியோவில் தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். இதை பார்க்குறதுக்கு நம்ம எங்கே வந்திருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, சென்னையிலேருந்து பெங்களூர் போகும்போது வேலூர் ஹைவேல விவி கார்ஸ், நம்ம ஏற்கனவே இவங்களோட கம்ப்ளீட் இதோட வாக் அரவுண்டில் நம்ம பார்த்துருக்குறோம். ப்ரீமியம் சீட் கவர்ஸ் பற்றியும் நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஸோ இங்கே தான் அந்த ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட்டும் நமக்கு அவைலபிளாக இருக்காரு. அவர் கூட ரொம்ப டீட்டெயில்டாக இந்த வீடியோவில் நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணலாம். வீடியோக்குள்ளே போகலாம். வீடியோக்குள்ளே போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்ம சேனலை இன்னும் நீங்கள் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. பக்கத்தில் இருக்க பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. அப்போ தான் நான் போடுற எஃபர்ட் உங்களை வந்து ரீச் ஆகும். இப்போ வீடியோக்குள்ளே போகலாம். உள்ளே போகலாம். இந்த வீடியோ கண்டிப்பாக ரொம்ப டெக்னிக்கலாக தான் இருக்க போகுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். ஏன்னா ஜென்ரலாக ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது நிறைய வீடியோவில் நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம். அப்போ இந்த பிளக் அண்ட் பிளே அப்படிங்கிறதுல நிறைய டெக்னிக்கலான விஷயங்கள் இருக்குது. அப்போது நம்ம கூட ஒரு டெக்னிக்கல் எக்ஸ்பர்ட் இருந்தால் ரொம்ப பெட்டராக இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லலாம். இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கூட மிஸ்டர் ரிஷி வந்து நம்ம கூட இருக்காங்க. ஹாய் சார்.
Hi sir, how are you doing?
தேங்க்யூ, தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் யுவர் டைம். கேன் யூ ப்ளீஸ் ப்ரீஃப் அபவுட் யூ?
Okay.
Who are you?
I represent Concept. Well, we as a company, we are based in Bangalore and we are exclusive importers for many brands of the top audio brands in the world, including Focal, Audio-Tech, Fisher, Dr. Artex, Sound Megas, Goldhorn, and so on. So audio is our forte and we love car audio. That's why we are in this business for over 20 years. And we want to make audio more accessible to more customers, because in the past car audio was supposed to be something is very technical and you need to be an audiophile to enjoy car audio. But our thought process is not that, and we want to make car audio more democratic, and we want to work with the great dealer partners and people who are enthusiastic about not just car audio but maybe generally about cars. And that's where the subject of plug and play comes in, which we are here to discuss today.
சூப்பர். அவர் கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷில் தான் ஆன்சர் பண்ண போகிறாரு. பட் கொஸ்டின்லேருந்து உங்களால் கண்டிப்பாக ரிலேட் பண்ணிக்க முடியும். முடிஞ்சால் நான் ஒரு சப்டைட்டிலும் உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்குறேன். ஓகே சார், plug and play, what is that actually? We know speakers, okay?
Sure.
But I just now only I came to know like there are universal speakers and plug and play speakers.
Sure.
What exactly the difference is?
So the difference is multifold. So when you have a universal speaker, of course, that is irrespective of the car. You can install in any car. You can install in any fashion. Like for example, you have a three-way system, so you can make your pillar pods and fabrication and things like that, and install it to any car, retrofit it to any car. Whether it came with a three-way or a two-way, it doesn't really matter. Now the plug and play is one of the fastest growing verticals for us, say specifically when we talk about Focal globally, because the new age cars that are coming in, they are very sensitive to any changes being made in the electrical ecosystem.
Exactly.
So when we say the electrical ecosystem, it obviously is multifold issues like, you know, the impedance of the system, you know, how many body control modules are there. So the cars are very, very sensitive. So the moment you put in an extra speaker, which is a load that the car doesn't recognize, anything can happen. When I say anything, it's literally on an electric car, it may just shut down. It may just stop. So those are the things that you don't want to obviously take place. And in India, yes, we still have a lot of old generation cars. That's why it is growing slowly, but it has in the last, I think, 1.5 years, again for us also, it's one of the fastest growing verticals. And that is the reason plug and play solutions have been made. So for all cars, when we talk about, say, a Mercedes or a BMW or globally, let's say a Tesla, not available in India, but we have a solution for that. And these are the cars that need a 100% plug and play system, because doing a custom system, when I say custom, which means you take a universal speaker and adapt it to the car, can lead to multitude of issues. Obviously, if a good installer is there, he can install, but you lose your warranty immediately. So that is the key part here, because all the high-end cars now come with extensive warranty packs. Up to, say, BMW offers like a 7-year warranty. So no customer wants to forgo warranty for some better audio experience. So that's where the plug and play comes in.
Okay.
So that's one reason to go for plug and play, that it doesn't void your warranty. So you just remove your original speaker, you place the speaker back in the place, and your install is complete. And obviously later we'll talk about amplification and things like that. But the core idea is that you do not mess with the car system. So all the speakers have been designed specifically for whatever the OE car system comes with.
Okay. So my understanding is like one particular brand, one particular series of speakers, but not the car model specific. Say, for example, if you take Mahindra, you have XCV9E and 6 and all those stuff. So one speaker, even it can fit for both the cars. So that's the way your
So,
product is.
okay,
Right?
there's a little more detail that we need to get into here. So, for example, when we come to Focal, it's obviously based in France. It's a global brand. It's a publicly listed company. So, obviously, they look at global scale for their products. So, when we say global scale, we say that what are the cars that are available that are consistent in their car audio architecture across the world. So, if you take a BMW, if you take a 5 Series, you buy a 5 Series in Mexico, you buy it in Japan, you buy it in South America, in Brazil, you buy it in India. The audio architecture is the same, which means when Focal makes a product for a BMW, it can sell across the world, right? So that is the first requirement for a plug and play, because it takes a lot of R&D. I'll get into why. Most important thing is that the car has to be available globally, right? And also has to be consistent in terms of audio architecture, which means that year on year they don't change their audio. That today it's a 6-inch speaker, tomorrow it's a 4-inch, and third year it's a 3-way. Then it's no point. So
Right.
you know, Focal has got that right, that they know what architecture is going to stay in the car for, you know, let's say a Mercedes or a BMW or a Toyota or a VW. Now, getting into those brands specifically, what your question was, that across the model ranges, how does it work? Now, for example, let's take Volkswagen for this example. So we have your 6.5-inch speaker. That's a regular component that goes into your, say, in the Indian market, you know, we have the Slavia, we have the Kushaq. So VW, when I say VW, it includes Skoda, of course.
Yes.
So Skoda, Slavia, Kushaq, now the new car, that Kailak. Now we have the Taigun, we have the Virtus, and we had the old cars also, the Polos, the Ventos. So all the speakers, the old Skoda Rapid. So all these cars share the same audio platform.
Okay.
Which makes it very easy for us to make a speaker for it, right? So we don't have to make any change. Now let's say that we talk about some exclusive, like we have the Tiguan, which is a bigger car, a full-size SUV, and it has a 8-inch driver. So we have a 8-inch speaker for that, which is under a different nomenclature, which is a different product. So in VW, let's say we have 4 types of speakers that cover the entire VW range. Now we talk about Toyota, it's the same thing. So Toyota, we have obviously your High Cross, your Innova, the Crista, the old one. Then we have the Fortuner. Now we have the Legenda. And we had some old cars like the Corolla, things like that. So there is a 6.5-inch component coaxial that fits across all of these cars. Now the new Hilux also shares the same architecture. So it's very easy. You have one speaker set that caters to, like, say, 6 or 7 cars that are in the Indian market. Then we have the LC200, which is a bigger full-size SUV, or we had the old Wellfire. So where we have a 6x9 speaker that is architecture on that, and we have a plug and play for that as well, which is a component.
Okay.
So here we have two or three types of SKUs under the Toyota brand, under Focal Insight, which caters to the whole Toyota family that is present in that particular country. So obviously, in India, we don't have all the cars from all the brands available here, but globally, so Focal supports 1200 plus cars. So when you take the entire market, including North America, Europe, Australia, Asia, and things like that.
Understood. So, the performance wise, I mean, the output wise, is there any difference between your universal speaker and plug and play speaker?
There is a lot of difference. So I'll make it easier to understand. So when it's a custom speaker, right, or universal speaker, right? So the universal speaker, when the manufacturer makes that universal speaker, they understand that the installer is an expert, right? And they will get the best output from that speaker. So, sometimes to get the best output, you need the tweeter to be very on axis facing you. So you see all your competition cars, the tweeter will always be facing you. But the point is that in an OEM, that is not possible. When you talk about plug and play, no customer will say, plug and play, okay, now we need to do specific pillar pod. So it doesn't work. Speakers, they know the speakers will go in their original locations, which are most likely off axis. So if you understand off axis, it means the speakers are perpendicular to your line of hearing.
Exactly.
Right? So those speakers are optimized for off-axis performance.
Okay.
Whereas a universal speaker is optimized for on-axis performance, like your home audio. So in a home audio stereo, you always have the speakers facing you directly. You get the best performance. But a plug-and-play speaker is meant to work like this, where it's in the original enclosure. So you have the door. Obviously, the mid bass is always off-axis, but even the tweeter, usually it's in the pillar, or it's in the sail panel where it is never facing you, and you still get the best possible performance because the tweeter and the speaker has been designed in a way to fit in a car in the OE location with the grill in front. Like in a competition car, you'll never see a grill on the tweeter because obviously, it affects performance. But here we have everything in the original location, and still the performance is going to be something at a different level.
So in that case, definitely there will be a considerable difference.
They have considerable difference. So this is just one of the parts that I elaborated, because in general, car audio is a very wide and deep subject. Exactly. So we can talk about it for hours.
Yes.
But for the audience's benefit, I'm trying to sum up the most important points here. The second part about plug and play is why you said that difference when you compare it to a universal speaker. So a plug and play speakers, let's say the impedance of the speaker, if you understand the impedance, it can be a 2 ohm, 4 ohm, 8 ohm, things like that. So the impedance of the speaker is designed to match the original cast system, whereas in a universal speaker it's not the case. Exactly. Because universal speaker, it is guaranteed that you're putting an amplifier later on, right? Nobody is running a universal speaker usually without an amplifier. So when that is there, then the impedance doesn't matter because the amplifier takes care of it. But when you are plugging it onto the original system, for example, I'll tell you, like a Volkswagen is a 2 ohm system. So your Volkswagen speaker that we will see later on, is a 2 ohm speaker. Toyota is a 4 ohm speaker. So Toyota, we know we will have a 4 ohm speaker from Focal Insight. Now the BMW, for example, the Harman Kardon system, the underseat subwoofers are 8 ohms, which is a very unusual impedance. 8 ohms is not a normal impedance that normally you will get car audio, or you will not get any aftermarket speaker at 8 ohms because of several issues that are scalability and things like that. So, but we have a plug and play at 8 ohms from Focal Insight because they know that what is the original system's capability, what is the parameters, and we try to match them accurately.
Okay.
And also, when a car specific driver is a car specific speaker is made, the original car system is scored on certain parameters, and then we know, okay, where are the improvement areas, and then we try to make a speaker that kind of improves and fills those gaps up. So this is very different. If you know, there are many plug and play things in the market, systems in the market, but typically what happens is they take a universal speaker, they will make a spacer to adapt to the car, they'll make a wiring kit to adapt to the car, and then call it a plug and play. But that's actually just a universal speaker where you save time making the spacer. But this is not our objective at Focal Insight. That is not the objective. The objective is to genuinely give you a speaker that has been designed for the car's acoustics and in line with the car's original system to give you the best possible output without having to modify the system at all. So we are using, like we'll talk about the wiring and stuff like that. So the idea is to leverage the original car system, including the head unit and things like that, and amplifier, say BMW has an amplifier already. So the speakers will perform well with an existing amplifier.
Okay, super. And then wiring, of course. So, I mean, we heard with many fitters like wiring is really play a critical role to get a proper output. So the OE wiring will be like a probably a copper wiring or something, but optical will give you a better performance. So in that case, how this plug and play can deliver better performance?
See, what I told you is that the plug and play has been designed to work within the restraints of the original system while maintaining our warranties and things like that, right? So, yes, of course, if you compare it to a competition system that costs 10 times as much, the performance is not comparable. But for an enthusiast who wants better audio output, doesn't want to void his warranty, is short on time. So, timing is also a very critical factor. The system output, you will experience it, is the difference is not like a, I will not say, oh, it's a 50% improvement. No, it's a 500% improvement.
Oh,
From an original system. 500%. That's how confident I am, because I know what goes into it. So your point about, yes, the optical for an input, if I have a high res player and then I have a DSP, and that's, yes, optical will, but if you're running your speaker level inputs, you're still using OFC wiring, right? So automotive wiring is pretty high grade if you choose genuine automotive wiring. And also all our harnesses that we make are automotive grade. They are made in Italy, not made anywhere else and then shipped to India and put a Focal stamp on it. It's made in Italy specifically for Focal, and then it comes to us. So everything meets automotive standards. So when it meets automotive standard, that means that we are assured of the performance and the consistency of the performance. If we install one car or we install 100 cars, the result is the same. Whereas in a custom audio, that never is the case. You can have two same cars with two same setups sounding totally different because, of several factors that are there. But in this, because everything is so consistent, you get the same consistent output day in and day out. Okay. That's the idea.
So while explaining, you were saying like audio quality will be 5 times better than OE, though you are changing only the speakers. But can you explain, I mean, can you show the product how exactly it is feasible?
Sure. So here for a quick comparison, we have a set of OEM speakers. You can see, I will just show you. So this is an OEM speaker and this is a tweeter. So I know you can't feel it, but basically it's like a paperweight. It's so light. It always surprises us. We have seen this 100 times, but because we are used to aftermarket speakers with robust magnets being heavy. So apart from that, the weight isn't everything. And then for comparison, we have our speaker, which is from Focal inside. So obviously the build quality is super robust. So apart from the build quality itself, when we talk about construction, usually this will be a cheap paper cone, because you have to understand that OEM, when they are designing a car, audio is not their priority, right? Audio is one of the features that you have in a car, and this I am saying including your branded systems, which you can call as say a Bose or a Harman Kardon, or so on and so forth. So obviously when audio is not a priority, it is a cost, and they tried their best to optimize the cost, which results in a product like this going inside your car. And at the scale they are working in, they need to optimize for the cost. So for example, I can see here there should be some power. Yeah. So this is a 4 ohm speaker at 25 watts speaker. And in comparison, what we are talking about here is 4 ohms, 60 watts, right? So you can see right there, the power output is more than double of the stock speaker. And not just that, the sensitivity also is very high. So when we talk about sensitivity, basically it means that if you give even a fraction of the power that is required to the speaker, so let's say you're not changing the plug and play amplifier that we talk about later, your plug and play speaker will run much better on the OEM amplifier or the OEM head unit, as the case may be, compared to the stock speaker, because it's a higher sensitivity speaker, which means it needs less power to give more output. Even though you will say, oh, this is 60 watts, this is 25 watts, how will the OEM amplifier drive this? The answer lies in the sensitivity. So sensitivity means the speaker is more sensitive than this speaker, which means that at the same power output level, this speaker will provide better output.
Okay. So, and you said like we'll be using the same amplifier which comes in the OE. Are we adding any additional amp or something?
So that's the best part about plug and play, that it's totally flexible and it's a totally modular system. which an end user can scale up as he goes along. So let's say I am in market for car audio. I am a first time car audio buyer, or I am a first time car buyer, for example. I don't know anything about car audio, and I don't want to go for extra fittings, as they call it, and my warranty will be voided and things like that. So when you come to a store like this, where Focal Insight solution is offered, so you will be shown that, okay, the first step is you upgrade these guys speakers. So you have a component with a inverted dome tweeter, which is a Focal patented technology, and that goes into your stock place. So this is for a Toyota, for example. And then you have a coaxial for the rear, which is a built-in tweeter here, right? Same inverted dome tweeter. So this is first level of upgrade. So you do this, you do some basic damping, because why we recommend soundproofing is because these guys are more powerful compared to the stock speaker, and you may have some unwanted resonance when you really pump up the volume. Then you may hear something resonating, because unfortunately in India, the build quality of the cars is not great. And we don't recommend this step for a Mercedes or a BMW, because the build quality is better. Usually you don't need to do any soundproofing for a plug and play audio. But for all other cars, we recommend a basic 2-layer. You don't need to go fancy, do a 5-layer damping. No, basic 2-layer damping is enough. Just want to arrest any unwanted resonance. Now, first step is done. The customer is super happy. He says, okay, this is good. Can I improve this? So then the answer lies in this amplifier that we have here. You can see this is the plug and play amplifier from Focal. It's called the 4.320. I'll just quickly show it to you how compact it is. So the idea here is that we have a plug and play amplifier. So this is the size. You can see it's, a little bigger than an iPhone, right? So it can fit into any compact cabin. Nowadays, space is a problem. So it usually will go inside the dashboard sometimes, for a VW or a Skoda, or it can go under the seat in a Toyota. So basically, you use this amplifier, and then we have a plug and play harness. So this is a car specific harness. Like your speaker is car specific, your harness is also car specific. So this allows us to take the high level inputs from the car stock amplifier or the head unit, whatever the case may be, and feed it into this amplifier, which we are then able to control like any other aftermarket amplifier. The answer lies in this. This is the ecosystem that we are talking about. It is not just a speaker upgrade.
Okay, so even the amp also, like it will be car specific, brand specific?
No, the amp is universal. Only the harness is car specific. Because amp is universal, it's a 4-channel amp with enough power to drive these speakers. And this harness is what will be car specific. So if it's a Volkswagen, it's a different harness. If it's a Toyota, different harness. BMW, Mercedes, so on and so forth. So you need to look for a harness that is specific to your car brand. This guy stays universal.
Okay, so if you take a subwoofer, okay, so if the car doesn't have a sub in a OE, so how this plug and play will?
So yes, so we have a solution for that as well. So now when we talk about, so like we are talking about the improvement in the audio. So like I said, it's a modular solution. So when we say it's modular, we say first step is speakers. So you're done with speakers, then you have added this amplifier. And then we have a plug and play subwoofer from Focal that again has a plug and play harness for the subwoofer. So this guy, 2 channels can be bridged here and drive the subwoofer, and your front 2 speakers can be driven. So that's again a totally plug and play solution again. So it's what we call the 2.1, which means 2 powered speakers in the front. The rear speakers will run off your stock head unit, and 1 powered subwoofer in the rear, or you can have 2 under seat subwoofers as well. So this is a total ecosystem of Focal that is present. It goes much beyond the speakers, and a customer who wants to improve his performance of his plug and play over time can do so. Or you can obviously go for everything on day one as well. So it depends on the customer, depends on the budget and so concerns and so on and so forth. So everything is feasible, and the point is that the customer can do all of this while waiting, having a coffee, and a couple of hours and this installation is complete. For an expert installer, any car, whether it's a BMW or a Mercedes or a Toyota or a Volkswagen, will not take more than 2.5 hours. And maybe the damping, yes, maybe it take a little more time, but in the cars that you don't need damping, it's 2.5 hours.
Okay, fine. So this amp will allow you to customize your tuning?
Now, 2 things. This amp is very flexible. So which means, but still this is an analog amp. So you can correct for phase of the subwoofer and things like that. So this will allow you to customize to that extent. Now, when we talk about customization via a software, that's where we need a plug and play DSP. So
Okay.
we have a plug-and-play DSP from a brand called Match, which is from Audiotech Fisher, Germany. And again, they have a whole ecosystem of DSPs, which we have, which are, you know, for your Harman Kardon system. You 100% need a DSP because it has 16 speakers in the car. So to time align 16 speakers, you need DSP control, and that we have the products that enable us to do that. So yes, we have DSPs, plug and play from Match, that will allow us to control the multi-channel systems. But the point is that for a simple 4-channel system, this is all you need. In 99% of the cases, this is all you need. It has plenty of power, plenty of customization, simple to set up. You don't need a computer. And, you know, an installer who maybe is not so hands-on with a DSP can still get a very good output out of it.
Okay.
That's the idea. That when we started our conversation, we spoke about accessibility of car audio. So this is how we make good car audio more accessible to more number of customers. Because once you set this up, you know the settings for a Toyota, you never change it again. You install one Toyota, you install 100, it is the same.
Okay. So you have here like a BMW and Toyota. Do you have something like a more series of speakers, or you have only one for BMW, only one for Toyota, something like that?
So, like I stated in the beginning, Focal Insight globally supports over 1200 cars. Now, of course, there's only a subset of those cars available in India. So when we talk about the brands that are relevant to India, let's talk about, obviously Toyota is our biggest seller because we have the volume and we have the cars, right? BMW is surprisingly our second best seller. It's not VW, because BMW customers are also a young kind of diaspora, young customer persona who want to drive their cars themselves, not chauffeur driven usually, and they want good audio. So BMW we do a lot. And then of course we have VW and Skoda, the entire range is covered, the entire Indian range. And then from there on, then we have more cars available, like we have a plug and play for say Ford, we have for Renault, Nissan, but in terms of numbers it's not very significant. Also we have a plug and play for Porsche as well, which is based on the top of the line Utopia kit. So those are few and far in between, but when we talk about the numbers in terms of India, yes, Toyota and BMW are our top sellers.
ஸோ நீங்கள் என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க அப்படிங்கிறத கமெண்ட்ல வந்து சொல்லுங்க. மீண்டும் அடுத்து வேற ஒரு வீடியோவில் உங்களை வந்து நான் சந்திக்கிறேன். அது வரைக்கும் உங்களிடமிருந்து விடைபெறுவது உங்கள் பிர்லா. பை.